At the beginning of the story, we see two cute kids listening to their grandma. She tells them a fairy tale about a 1-inch princess, a girl so tiny her height is only 1 inch. The little girl gets super excited and starts believing she can meet this princess in real life. Grandma leaves and the two kids go searching. The girl reaches a pond and slips. Her shoe falls into the water and drifts away. She freaks out because she thinks it is gone. She can already imagine her mom scolding her at home. Then she peers into the shoe and spots the 1-inch princess hiding inside. The girl is thrilled and the boy runs over. She tells him what she saw, but the tiny princess vanishes right away. Now the boy thinks the girl is making it up. A bit later, they end up under a hill and confess they love each other. Most kids their age are still on A for apple. These two even promise to stay together forever. Then we cut to Kiyomi. She is a pretty girl writing a novel by her window. She watches Minami practicing at his favorite playfield. Kiyomi likes him a lot. Still, she feels he does not notice her at all. On the way to school, Minami's mom hands Kiyomi his lunchbox since he forgot it. Kiyomi runs after Minami. At the same time, Minami remembers and runs back home. Chiyomi and Minami are both running, and they suddenly crash into each other. In the mess, they accidentally kiss. Kiyomi pops up fast, shoves the lunchbox into Minami's hands, and sprints off in pure embarrassment. Even though they are in the same class, they barely talk. Minami is the type who keeps to himself. He stays locked in studying because he wants to become a doctor, help people, and support his family. Meanwhile, Kiyomi practices dance at school. She is genuinely talented, and she has a big dream of joining a dance competition in Tokyo. The problem is, she already knows her parents will never allow her to go that far alone. After school, her classmate Riko walks her home while talking about a favorite novel. The twist is, that novel is actually written by Kiyomi. She uses a pen name and hides her identity. The next day, Riko gives Kiyomi a gift and confesses her feelings. Riko also admits she knows Kiyomi is the real author, and that is why the book meant so much to her. On the way home, Kiyomi smiles at the gift, but then heavy rain starts. She opens her umbrella and spots Minami walking under one umbrella with another classmate. Sei is staring at him with obvious romantic energy. Seeing that hits Kiyomi hard, and jealousy floods in. She gets home and breaks down crying, and then things get worse. Her parents find out she has been secretly planning to go to that Tokyo dance competition. A huge fight explodes. Her dad yells and, in anger, even slaps her. Kiyomi snaps. She storms out into the rain. Chiyomi is stuck outside and she cannot bring herself to go back home. While she's walking in the rain, she runs into Minami. With her heart already hurting, she asks him what his relationship is with Sei. Minami snaps back, cold and harsh. He basically tells her to stop saying weird stuff, stop poking into his business, and never ask him questions like that again. That tone crushes Kiyomi even more. She turns away fast and walks off. Then a strong gust of wind steals her umbrella. Kiyomi chases it and ends up at that same hill from the start of the story, the place where two kids once promised to stay together forever. And now we learn the truth. Those two kids grew up to become Minami and Kiyomi. Sitting there, Kiyomi thinks about how everything changed after Minami's father left. The pressure of the whole family landed on Minami's shoulders, and that is what made him so closed off and hard. Kiyomi prays to God that Minami can return to how he used to be, and that their friendship can feel like childhood again. Exhausted, she falls asleep right there. The next morning, Kiyomi wakes up and realizes she has shrunk. She is literally 1 inch tall. Instead of panicking, she feels weirdly happy because she has become the 1-inch princess she imagined as a child. Meanwhile, her parents are frantic because she never came home. They search everywhere, rush to the police, and file a report. The news spreads fast, and Minami hears Kiyomi is missing. He runs to the hill calling her name. Kiyomi answers, saying she is right here, but he cannot see her at first. Then tiny Kiyomi jumps into view. Minami freezes in shock. He carefully lifts her, hides her in his pocket, and brings her home. In his room, he keeps her secret. Kiyomi cannot do anything alone now, so Minami ends up helping her constantly. Minami tells Kiyomi it has been a long time and she should go home, but Kiyomi refuses. She says if her parents see her like this, they will completely fall apart, so she calls them and lies. She says she already went to Tokyo for the dance competition without telling them. She tells them not to worry and promises she will come home after the competition ends. Back in Minami's room, he starts taking care of her like she is a tiny doll. He makes a little bowl so Kiyomi can bathe inside it, like the way kids play with dolls in water. That night, he empties a tissue box and turns it into a mini bed for her. While she sleeps, Minami just stares at her. He looks soft for the first time, like he wants to protect her. The next day, Kiyomi tells him a fairy tale about a princess who falls under a curse and sleeps forever until a prince's kiss wakes her up. Kiyomi tells it on purpose, hoping Minami will get the hint and kiss her. But Minami is totally clueless. He just laughs at the story instead. When it is time for school, Minami hides tiny Kiyomi in his pocket and takes her with him. At school, everything seems normal, even though Kiyomi is missing. Later, Minami buys a small outfit for her from a dollhouse set because she has been wearing the same clothes for days. Then Minami remembers something their grandma once mentioned, a magical hammer that can return the 1-inch princess to her real height, but only on a full moon night. He brings Kiyomi to that place and waits for the full moon, but nothing happens. That same night, heavy rain starts again. Minami takes Kiyomi back to the hill, and they wait all night in the storm, hoping for a change. Nothing changes. Minami ends up getting seriously sick from the cold rain. Kiyomi panics and runs to the fridge to get cold water to cool his fever. But she is so tiny, she cannot even open the fridge door. Kiyomi cannot open the fridge, so she just looks at Minami and starts crying in total helpless panic. Minami, weak with fever, tells her not to cry. He says she just needs to stay by his side. Hearing that simple line fills Kiyomi's heart. That is all she has wanted, to be allowed to stay with him. But the comfort does not last. Sei comes to check on Minami and starts caring for him like she belongs there. She leans in close and even tries to kiss him. Kiyomi is burning inside, but she cannot stop it. Then, half asleep, Minami accidentally says Kiyomi's name. Sei instantly pulls back, suspicious and uneasy. When Minami's fever improves, he records a close-up video of tiny Kiyomi in a way that makes her look normal-sized. Together, they send it to Kiyomi's parents. In the video, Kiyomi says she needs to stay in Tokyo a few more days. Her parents relax, believing she is truly at the dance event. Later, Minami studies with Sei, and tiny Kiyomi is asleep in his pocket. Suddenly, Kiyomi starts snoring. Minami realizes things are about to get messy, so he starts coughing over and over to cover the sound. On the way home, Sei flirts harder and tries to kiss him again. From inside the pocket, Kiyomi cannot take it. She starts punching Minami, forcing him to pull back. Sei thinks he is just shy, and before leaving, she steals a kiss anyway. Kiyomi is crushed. Soon, the big kendo competition day arrives. Minami feels unprepared and not confident. Kiyomi keeps encouraging him. She tells him he has practiced so much, and this is the moment to show everyone what he can do. Kiyomi asks Minami why he keeps backing away in fear. Her push gives him courage, so he enters the kendo tournament. He still loses. The next day at school, Riko brings a doll that looks just like Kiyomi. Riko copies Minami by stuffing it into a pocket and parading it around. Minami tries to ignore it, but jealousy creeps in. He may not confess his feelings, yet seeing someone else mess with Kiyomi like that makes him tense. Meanwhile, Kiyomi has worn the same outfit for days. She loves one of Minami's handkerchiefs and asks him to make her a dress. He makes one, but the neck is too tight, so she cannot wear it. Kiyomi sneaks into her own house and drags out her doll clothes. From then on, she wears those tiny dresses and dances around like a little toy. One day, Minami leaves her home alone and burglars break in. Kiyomi uses her feet to to type a warning on Minami's iPad. Then she blasts music on the CD player so the thieves think someone is inside and run. Minami races home and finds her safe, but trouble follows. A friend from the Tokyo dance competition calls Kiyomi's parents and says Kiyomi never showed up. Now her parents doubt that video. The next morning at school, Kiyomi is in Minami's pocket again, and Riko finally spots her and freezes. Riko is still frozen after spotting what looks like Kiyomi in Minami's pocket. Minami notices the tension, taps his pocket, and realizes Kiyomi and Riko are staring at each other. The secret is starting to crack. Around the same time, Kiyomi's older sister shows up at Minami's house. She finds Kiyomi's doll clothes, then sees the tablet that sent that fake Tokyo video. She understands Kiyomi is being hidden here. That night, Sei comes again. Minami's mom tells her to stay over because it is late. Sei slips into Minami's room. She hugs him and admits she loves him. She leans in for a kiss. Minami pulls away and says he is busy studying. Sei leaves angry. Kiyomi watches it all and cries. Minami asks why. Kiyomi says nothing. The next day, Minami's grandma sees tiny Kiyomi and believes she is the real one-inch princess. Grandma even sews tiny outfits for her, but everyone thinks she is just rambling. Then Riko hears Kiyomi never went to Tokyo. She remembers Kiyomi's novel about a tiny girl falling for a much bigger boy, and she starts connecting the dots. Kiyomi's sister also talks to Minami. He says Kiyomi cannot go home yet, and the sister agrees to stay silent and asks him to protect her. Soon, Grandma suddenly gets very sick. They rush her to the hospital, and in the chaos, Minami leaves his coat outside the bathroom. Chiyomi is still hiding in Minami's coat pocket at the hospital. Minami leaves the coat for a moment, and a little girl grabs it to play. Kiyomi slips out and falls. The child thinks she is just a doll and carries her away. When Minami comes back, Kiyomi is gone. He panics, but he cannot ask anyone directly without sounding crazy. Meanwhile, the little girl ties Kiyomi to her bed so the doll cannot run away. That bed is right next to Minami's grandma. Grandma notices, gently talks the child down, and takes Kiyomi back. She returns tiny Kiyomi to Minami, and Minami finally breathes again. At the same hospital, Kiyomi's older sister overhears Minami talking about Kiyomi. Now she fully understands it is real. Kiyomi has truly become tiny. She goes to meet Kiyomi and speak with her face to face. Later, Sei meets Minami and asks him directly if he loves Kiyomi. Minami finally admits it. He says he has loved Kiyomi for a long time, but only realized it clearly recently. He says he cannot give his heart to anyone else. Kiyomi sees Minami and Sei together and starts crying again, but Minami tells her not to misunderstand. He asks her to promise she will never leave him and will stay by his side for life. Kiyomi feels like her childhood love has finally come back to her. Then Minami's father suddenly returns, hands Minami's mother divorce papers, and tries to leave again. Minami steps forward and tells him to go because their family does not need him. He says he can take care of his mom and grandma on his own. The father cannot argue. He only hugs Minami, then walks away. Meanwhile, Kiyomi's family discovers she has been writing novels under a secret pen name. Chiyomi's family feels proud, but it also hurts. They realize Kiyomi was so scared of them that she could not even share good news. Riko has suspected Minami for a while, so she comes to his house and demands to see the doll that looks exactly like Kiyomi. Minami finally admits the truth. It is not a doll, it is Kiyomi. Riko thinks he is lying and insists on meeting her right now. Minami refuses, so Riko brings up Kiyomi's novel, the one where Kiyomi poured out her one-sided love. Riko tells Minami he is being jealous for no reason. Kiyomi only loves him, and if Minami feels the same, this is the moment to say it. Minami finally opens up. He admits he loves Kiyomi, and that after his father left, he became terrified of loving anyone because he feared they would leave too. Hearing his confession, tiny Kiyomi steps forward. Riko is shocked because Kiyomi truly looks like a living doll. After processing everything, Riko remembers the magical hammer. She says they also need to pray at sunrise, and that is what they missed before. Kiyomi tries it, praying as the sun comes up, but nothing changes. Kiyomi tells Minami she wants to go home and tell her parents the truth. Minami cannot accept losing her. They stand outside arguing when suddenly a car hits Minami hard. He crashes to the road. At that exact moment, Kiyomi's mother runs over in panic to help Minami. And that is when she finally sees Kiyomi, tiny and real, right beside him. Chiyomi's mom is completely stunned when she sees her daughter at 1-inch size. Minami is rushed to the hospital and Kiyomi is taken home. Kiyomi's older sister already knew the truth, but for their dad, this is the biggest shock of his life. Then Kiyomi's mom tells her that after the accident, Minami still has not regained consciousness. The second Kiyomi hears that, she runs with her mom straight to the hospital. Kiyomi reaches Minami's bed and kisses him. In the same moment, a bright light falls across Minami's eyes, and he wakes up. Overjoyed, Kiyomi kisses him again. This time, the light hits Kiyomi, and slowly she starts growing back. Within moments, she returns to her normal size. And the craziest part is, Kiyomi hinted at this from the start. She told Minami that a kiss might break the spell, but he never believed her. Once everything is normal again, they go back to school. Minami openly announces in front of everyone that he wants to be with Kiyomi. Time passes. After graduation, reminder that Minami and Kiyomi get married. 1 year later, Minami enters medical college, and Kiyomi starts preparing for a famous dance competition in Tokyo. Before she leaves, they return to that old hill where Minami once placed a flower crown on Kiyomi's head and promised he would never leave her. Standing there again, they hold each other and renew the same promise. And with that sweet moment, this gentle love story comes to an end. So tell me, if your boyfriend or girlfriend suddenly turned 1 inch tall, what would you do? Would you carry them around in your pocket like Minami did? Drop your answer in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.